Well, welcome everybody. We're already a minute in. I had a little bit of problems there, but we're here now. I'm Coy. This is Frunkin with me. Hi, Frunkin.
Hello.
And we are doing a Link to the Past Randomizer SG Live tournament qualifier today. Our runners today are Gem, Korek, Arier, and Ninban. They're pretty good. These are some real big names here on the restream today.
I just want to point out we've already got a Master Sword.
A Master Sword already, and Korek already has like 400 rupees. Unbelievable.
I'm smelling an Aga 1.
So Ninban actually won the qualifier yesterday, completely ruining the curve for everybody else. So I'm expecting big things from him, but all of these are very big names. We're going to see some really top-tier gameplay here.
Ninban's not going straight for Aga 1, is he? Nah, he's checking his good uncle, getting a birthday present.
There's like one very obscure situation where anybody would ever do Dark Aga in an open seed, and I really doubt we're going to see that today.
Wait, did you catch what was on Lumberjack Ledge? Because I know they all checked it.
No, I missed it.
Hopefully it wasn't important.
So we have lots of route divergence here, and there's like the fun thing about open seed is that you can just start anywhere and go anywhere right at the beginning, but you're still limited by this lack of equipment. But pretty much all the things you see the runners doing now, everyone's going to end up doing eventually. But some things, say like the Sahashala check the Arier's headed towards, players might put that off for a very long time. So we have to be on the lookout for if you find something good here.
Gem dipping into Kakariko. We've got Korek also in Kakariko, area doing the Sarasala, and Ninban going straight into Hyrule Dungeons.
So nothing in Sahasrahla. Arier decides to save and quit there. Not going to dip into Eastern just yet. He might get punished for this, like if he finds a bow somewhere else and has to go back over there. But generally not a big deal here. Ninban going into the front of Escape, though. This is a pretty big play for him. Yeah, it was a little trouble. Lamp in the front of Escape, that's very, very useful.
So Korek pay 100 rupees for a measly free bomb. Oh, I think we just missed a Moon Pearl in Chicken Hut.
Yeah, everyone will eventually make their way to Kakariko. These dips outside of Kakariko, it's a meta thing to do right now because everybody does Kakariko, so it makes not going to Kakariko more powerful when you're comparing your run to somebody else. Gonna get a little punished though because that's a flute in Kakariko well.
That's always where you want to see the flute, Kakariko. So you're right there, just bam, you've got the warp, you've got the world is your oyster. We are 4 minutes in and we have 10-foot swords. What's going on here?
Maybe it's a jet seed.
Might be a jet
I think
seed.
you're right. I think it's gonna be Aga 1 though.
This is looking wacky. I see Area going for Agina's.
Yeah, Agina's Cave is a very out of the way location. This is typically put off for a very long time by most runners, so checking this early can be a huge difference maker.
He's gonna be good though, because he's a bit behind on the good items, and he gets just a measly heart, a little bit of love.
Yeah, just a heart container, but eventually people will make their way over there. It's unlikely to be able to skip that entirely. Eventually, it's going to look like a good play to go there. But going to Kakariko first, definitely the play for this seed. Getting that flute there is pretty huge.
That big single arrow in the shed.
It's a unique item.
Not that it matters too much, we don't have hints.
That's right, hints are disabled for this qualifier and for the SG Live tournament that's going to happen in October.
That was the quickest map check I've ever seen. Actually, that wasn't a map check, that was a flute. We haven't had a map check yet, have we?
I think we have, I just missed it. Hookshot and Mini Molar Cave, though.
That's East Death Mountain. And with the flute, he's got access.
That's true.
We very quickly got the whole world just unveiled.
Yeah, the
Split
hookshot's also it
flippers
could be
on that
access
desert ledge.
to West Starkwold after Aga 1.
Gem's going into desert.
Yeah, this is a big play here for Gem. He does not have the items he needs to full clear this dungeon. But, you know, if you're following the logic, right, like, you find the book. The book doesn't really do anything else right now.
Oh, it could be those Tablet on Death Mountain's got something. They have everything they need for it. And he might
No, they'll
be
need
just...
a hammer or a mirror to get to that one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a nice cave.
Ice Rod Cave, only 50 rupees.
There is looking a bit scant on the items. He's got the hookshot, which is nice. But he's probably going to start rotating over to Kakariko to get that. There's a pretty stacked Kakariko overall. We had a book, we had, I think, a sword, the cape, the flute.
Yeah, the flute is the big ticket item right now, I think.
Jen grabbing the flippers.
Gem finding flippers on Desert Ledge.
I think that's the whole reason he went in. He saw those flippers and he's like, I'm having them.
I think Gem knows that we're using his audio. Thanks, Gem.
Oh, Korok is doing a dark Death Mountain, I think.
Yeah, he's going to save the old man to get one extra item. It's his out of logic, but doesn't mean it can't be anything.
I mean, the flute's just in the basement of Hyrule Castle, so it's not...
No, he has the flute. He fluted up here and then walked in.
Wow. That's what I meant.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, finding the bow!
There's the bow. Ooh. That is something you always need.
So Eastern Palace completely in logic right now.
But he's continuing to go up. He's just going to check what's on the Spectacle Rock and what's inside. No, he's got Pearl, but he can't do anything with.
Ninbin getting his flute a little late, activating it now. Area will find it soon. And our fourth sword.
What a sword! Good 8.5 minutes in, and there's all 4 of our sword. He's not going for it though. He does not.
Correct.
No toast today.
The butter sword saves very little time over having the tempered sword. It's not really
but it's butter.
a big deal.
I guess if you have the choice, it's just like, do I need butter in my life? Korok said no, he does not need butter in his life.
I mean, he'd probably pick it up if it was nearer.
If it's right
he'd
there,
have to
yeah.
drop
if
down,
it was
screen
on Spectacle
transition.
Rock, he would grab it, but it's not. He's mostly doing checks of what you're seeing. Korok's got the fresh new loot. And silver arrows. Paradox.
Right by that bow.
Man, this is gonna be quick.
This is a power seed.
Bosses beware. Half magic. Oh my goodness. It just keeps going.
Looks like Gem is going to push his flipper advantage and head up to Hobo on his way to Ice Arcade.
Korok making the bomb jump. I can never quite manage those bomb jumps. Always get to the ledge and I just slip off.
Yeah, definitely the kind of thing that takes a little bit of practice. I think that was Blue Mail? We only saw it for a second.
Well, I guess for him it's pink mail. He's looking for like... We've got a lot of links in this one. Normally you don't see this many links. We've got a pink link, we've got a dark link, outline link, and then we just have Dragon Knight.
Yeah, the different link variations are very popular, even for Randomizer, just because like so many people came from speedrunning the vanilla game, and you get used to like learning the visual cues for the links, right?
Everyone might be going to check the pedestal. He's going
He
to
is,
check.
yeah. You're right.
Okay. Come on, pedestal seed. You always hope.
No
Ah,
ped
not
today.
Bit of a strange check though, just going out the way for that.
Yeah, typically players aren't willing to make the walk over there, even when they do have the book. But you know, if it was something, like Area would have an advantage.
If ever, anyone typically does it after Skull Woods.
We have a Green Pendant Ice Palace today.
Oh,
And Sora, not much.
is that a life lesson I see? No life lessons. Think. Karak's about to start embarking into Eastern. He has everything he needs, except the lamp, but
This
he's confident.
This is really looking like an Agassi. So we have logical access to Aga, right, through the sword / cape plus the lamp.
Everything necessary.
And then flippers plus hookshot gets us to West Dark World and like a huge amount of checks over there. I would still expect all of our runners to, at the very least, full clear Eastern Palace and the East F Mountain before making that dive, though, because if you do Aga and it wasn't necessary, it is a huge time loss.
You just feel like an idiot. Like, time loss is one thing, but you go all the way through it and you're just like, oh, the mirror was there. You feel like the biggest idiot in the world.
So Jem still not having found that bow. He's going to head up the mountain after Sahasrara. A little unfortunate that he didn't do the mountain first. He would have been able to do Sahasrara with Eastern.
Yeah.
But not the biggest time loss because he does have that flute to get back over just a little bit.
He's going to get his silvers. It's half magic. Everyone's going to be big muzzles. We get to see what's from them. Oh, it's just a 20 from Hobo. Can't believe you just go onto a bridge and rob a homeless man of all of his money. Not cool, Link.
There's Jem's bow. Makes him want to go to Eastern, but he's going to continue to East F Mountain, which is good because he'll find silvers here at least. Korek definitely avoiding that hint tile. Of course, hints are disabled. It would not tell him anything.
I think he was a little tempted. He saw it and he's just muscle memory. But it's like, wait, don't need it. Jem's seeing the butter. Jem's going for the butter.
The sword. I mean, it does save some time. There are a few places where having butter sword versus temper sword makes a difference.
Maybe because this early, having maximum power probably will save more time in the long run.
Yeah, definitely.
It makes sense.
The big difference maker is like Trinex or something. Most things that die to the butter sword die to the tempered sword too.
Yeah, you just feel so powerful with it. Just, yes, I have this. There's an ice rod in Eastern.
Yeah, nice rod in Eastern Palace. Hopefully nobody tries to skip that location.
It might not be necessary, depending on whether or not that was necessary, but he has that.
Yeah, we have 3 light rolled crystals, so it's a good chance that one of our remaining pendants might be on Turtle Rock. Korek not having been to the front of the escape yet. No lamp. Has to go through the dark room here. He makes it, though.
They're about to start his ascent through Eastern. And then van off to get his life lesson.
Yeah, looks like everyone's getting pretty bottlenecked by Aga right now.
Agamben just watching from the top of his off the top of his tower. Everyone just gallivanting around, laughing. They'll have to come to me. It must. Oh, that was an excellent armor skill for Kurek.
Yeah, he's weak to silvers, I think.
Everything's weak to silvers.
Korek taking down Armos Knights, getting the first crystal of the seed. 6 to go.
Where does he go now? I think he's probably aware his only choice right now is going up that tower. Oh no, he's taking Ice Rod.
Yeah, Korek still hasn't gotten those flippers either from Desert Ledge. He may choose to like go over there and just to check it because he does have the
still he has the gloves.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to go into desert, but you know, it's a pretty quick check just to see what was on the ledge.
We've got Ninban going into the back of Escape. Will he find treasures there? Oh, he will, but will it be good? I'm hoping gloves are down there, honestly.
So Korek gonna fake flipper.
Yeah, he's got it. Completely unnecessary, but he's done it.
So I guess that means the small key is in the back of Escape, so they won't be able to check those last locations.
Bit of a time loss there for Ninban. Gem now entering Eastern. And Ninban's about to get his bow, but he has the luxury of the lamp.
Yeah, in addition to you know just this being easier overall doing dark rooms, he can do them just slightly faster too because he doesn't have to hold his sword out and walk slightly slower. Every second counts when you're playing against players this good.
He's going to get his bow and he's going to start embarking to East, catching up with anyone or everyone. He is quite behind though. He does need to like even start East. It's going to be a bit rough for him. Correct, exhausting every possible option in the light world.
Yeah, Korek's setting up a water walk here using the Moon Pearl at the Waterfall Ferry. He'll be able to check the Zora item, but we know it's nothing.
I think it was just bombs on the ledge as well. Helpful handful of bombs.
And I think Ninban noped out of East Death Mountain as soon as he got that bow.
Yeah, he didn't get silvers. That's gonna come back to bite him.
It's not like the hugest difference maker for Armos Knights, but you know, it is faster to have silvers than to not have silvers.
Area getting his crystal from Eastern. He had a very quick kill against the Armus as well. Very good there. Where will he go now?
Alright, Korek is gonna go check Desert Ledge and go into Eastern, maybe, or to Desert, maybe.
I think Area's about to do a fake flippers.
The thing is that Korek already did the fake flipper, so he knows that the flippers aren't gonna help him right now. But he'll probably still go into Desert and pick them up. Just for the West Darkworld access after Agawan. Don't make me a liar, Korek.
Well, he's on the mountain. Did he miss him?
No, you save and quit to the mountain because it's faster than Link's house, because the full heal is just talking to an NPC instead of picking up 3 pots.
Going back to desert.
Yeah, he's gonna want those flippers for sure. Plus, there's still the possibility that there, from his point of view, that there's something else in Desert Palace.
And the other person who's gone in there, I think was Gem.
Yeah, Gem and Nimbon both went in there.
Speaking of Gem, he's going to come up on his armor. Very straightforward, even though there was a lot of divergence, the lack of any real option funnels everyone to Eastern.
Yeah, everybody's running into that same bottleneck with Agawan.
Oh, misses an arrow. Still a good kill.
He might as well forfeit now.
It's over, you missed one arrow on armor. It's like, owie.
Game over, man. Game over.
It's just about checked area everywhere. I think he might go straight to.
I think the only thing they can do that they haven't done yet is maybe like steal the key in Desert, but that's a really, really uncommon play to see. All right, Korek's out of options. He's going front of escape. It's still this is kind of an unfortunate situation for Korek though, because like after doing front of escape and not finding anything, like he wants to do Aga, right? But now he has to death work with 11 hearts.
Oh yeah. This is a very healthy run.
It's probably faster to save and quit, honestly, after he does the ball and chain guard.
Yeah, no mirror, no too much health. Just a general inconvenience.
Yeah, Gem's gonna be in that same boat here, also going front of escape. It wouldn't be that crazy for them to just go straight to Aga, though, because at this point it's really unlikely that Aga's not required. But the safer play is to do these 3 checks at least.
And Van doing his almost very clean kill. I say as he misses his last arrow.
just misses left foot kill.
Still quick.
Should have got those silvers.
Should have got those silvers. He's gonna find them later and he's gonna be like, no, they were right there.
Alright, and all 4 of our runners have now got those flippers off Desert Ledge. Not anybody chose to steal the key. This is for the best. Stealing the key is a very low % play.
What is stealing the key? I'm not familiar with
You can go into the back of Desert, like on the way to the boss, grab the key from the pot, and instead of opening that key door, you go back to the front of Desert and open the right side. It's a lot of travel time.
That's a dangerous play, plus no one can do it. They don't have gloves.
Oh yeah, they don't have gloves, you're right. I didn't even think of that.
That's why no one's clear. Like, if they had gloves, they would be on Desert.
Do you think they'd steal the key if they had the gloves?
Maybe. It's possible. I need to keep that in mind next time we do Randomizer. That thought never really occurred to me.
It's a really, really...
Very
like, generally everything in Rando's a gamble, right? Like,
Korek's going for that death warp.
Yeah, he's gonna death warp.
Jesus.
At least he has green mail, you know, a whole heart from getting hit.
Gonna bomb himself. In the chest lies map, of course.
Now he can still check Dark Cross, but he'd have to death warp again.
Gem also setting up a death warp area.
And he is
also
near Dark Cross.
Oh, yeah, Nimban's now in the East Death Mountain, probably kicking himself.
Yeah, he finds those silvers.
Yeah, at this point, everyone's essentially even. Hey, did Nimban? Did Nimban skip the ice rod?
I don't know. I mean, it's not tracked, but that doesn't... Like, sometimes the tracker's just jicky. We'll have to wait for him to open a menu.
Oh, no. Just update.
Korik,
we
not
don't know.
finding a small key in Dark Cross, has to Death Warp again, but this
on
time
Snake.
on ropes.
Oh, that's gotta be embarrassing. And then the bat doesn't even do a half a heart.
Yeah, the bats and the rats both do like a quarter heart on green mail.
Oh, this is almost just like depressing to watch. It's just Link's going into areas, finding out they can't do anything, and just having to just slowly and painfully kill all 11 of their hearts of health.
Yeah, it just really goes to show like how horrible it is to do Aga and then to find out later that it's not required, that all of these runners are completely unwilling to make that gamble.
Well, Korak is going in. He's beginning his ascent.
Yeah, he's run out of checks. Nothing else to do. Gotta do it.
Everyone's favorite eventuality. Aga 1. Gem not far behind.
And Ninban, I think, has already done
to...
front of escape, so he should go straight to Aga here.
Yeah. I think he's done. Yeah, he's done back of escape as well. He's just gonna go straight for the tower.
That butter sword coming in handy for Gem. He can one-shot ball and chain guards.
He's feeling mighty.
You think Korak regrets skipping it? What's kind of cool, everybody getting bottlenecked at the same time. We have a very clear picture of who's in the lead.
Free converge as well. Yeah, you don't really see that much, especially in a 4-man randomizer. It's to see all of them immediately diverting, and then all of them coming back at around the same time. It's definitely impressive. The question is, where do things go from here?
Well, coming out of Aga 1, they'll have two main options, right? They can either go up to the river and over to West Darkworld, or they can go straight into Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, they can go into Palace of Darkness. They've all got the lamp, they've all got their arrows, they don't got hammers.
Yeah, they won't be able to full clear it, but they can get everything except for the boss. And I mean, at this point in the game, I think it's very, very likely that they're going to find a glove or a hammer in Palace of Darkness. But, you know, not everybody might be willing to take that gamble. We might see somebody go over to West Darkworld first.
Korak about to start his favourite wizard tennis match. How is Aghanim feeling today?
Anywhere between 0 and 15 blue balls are possible for this.
Alright, well, what have we got? It's only on the third hit where he starts diverging, typically. So far.
Yeah, so there's 4 hits, 4 attacks per cycle, and the first one is guaranteed to be a regular energy ball, but the other 3 are all 50-50.
No, it's good so far.
Zero.
Oh, that's some Agar RNG. As long as I don't mess it up, that is a quick kill. And into the Dark World we go. Let's get that map check, Korak. Come on, I know you wanna. Let's see.
Pendant Thieves and Swamp Red Crystal over at Meyer.
So it looks like the Ice Rod was needed after all. Looks like Korak's gonna make...
Oh, he's going West Darkworld first.
Going for those Kakariko drops.
There's merit to both plays, but I feel like Pod is gotta be the answer here.
He might be hoping there's like the hammers hiding over there.
Yeah, definitely possible.
Oh yeah, coming around. God, that's a weird play. You have the hook shot but no gloves, so you have to go all the way around with flippers.
Yeah, I feel like the problem here is that they want the hammer before they go into Pod, but they also want the hammer before they go to Thieves Town. So no matter where you go, you're running the risk of
Always
orphaning
hammer.
stuff because of this hammer.
I think Korak's gonna check Bump Cave. Gem's going straight for Pod. That is a shield, I think, on Bump Cave. Also, looks like Ninban's gonna go for Pod. Nice. Korak's going to Skull Woods.
Okay, so it looks like the consensus from the runners is Palace of Darkness, with Korak being the only detractor.
Bold move, Colin. Let's see if it plays out. How many times has that been said in commentary?
Oh, I try to say it at least like once an hour.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody's finding only keys so far.
I mean, that's how Powers of Darkness works. You find a key, you open a locked door to get a chest which has another key. It's just a vicious cycle of keys.
Korak's still not finding anything in Skull Woods. Gem headed over to the vanilla big key chest.
Inbound taking a death. Was that a death warp or just misfortunate?
I think I missed it. Probably a death warp.
Probably. Yeah, I think he went down to the bottom and he's just like, I'm getting out of it. Can't find this big key for his big chest.
Korak's doing a little bomb jump here to get to this big chest pretty quick. Finding a map.
Now he knows the way forwards.
Not a very
And
nice front of
The
Skull
way,
Woods.
the way forwards is to leave Skull Woods. Because he can do nothing. He's probably going to head into Thieves Town, Dark Kakariko. There's what, 3 checks outside. There's the digging game down south. Stumpy.
Yeah, I would expect him to do the 3 Village of Outcast checks and then go into Thieves Town. There is the possibility that he skips Thieves Town entirely. I've seen runners do that when they don't have the hammer, but the most common play is to just check first 4 and then leave.
See, House has just someone's life savings.
Gem with no hammer or mirror. Death warps out of there.
Korak's breaking open Thieves Town at the very least. Very, very barren pod so far.
It's pretty common though for Palace of Darkness. Like there's 6 chests in the front and 4 of them have to be keys.
And the other 2 are just a map of the compass and you feel like an idiot. Chess game giving us money. It was just a regular chess game at that point.
Gem's gonna hammer jump for us eventually. Work with me, menu.
Oh, manages it, and all he gets is a lousy compass.
Hey, those are
Oh, there's
nice.
something. Boots and Palace. Korak's gonna miss out on those for a bit. But he's got the mirror, so it more than makes up for it. And a fire rod,
Oh.
okay. There's the loot. Just hiding
Alright,
in
so
the
it
dark.
looks like Palace of Darkness was definitely the play for that fire rod at
It's a lot
least.
spicier. That's gonna bite Korak in the butt. He's already been to Skull Woods. Everyone else can just go there and clear it now.
Korak still has the possibility that he'll find like the hammer and be able to single dip pod.
Yeah. Yeah, unless this next chest Jeb's is about to open has the hammer.
Looked like Korak was thinking about leaving after the first 4, but he's going to continue on to blind. No gloves or hammer in Palace of Darkness, but I think the fire rod and the boots are more than enough.
Make up for it.
No one's gonna complain about that.
Gem heading back to the light world, probably gonna do all of the boots checks they can. Immediately going for those bump rocks. Bonk rocks. Remember kids, bump and bonk are very different things.
Torek having a little trouble here in the Hellway. 3 hearts is plenty, though.
There.
Just don't get hit.
Just don't get hit by the little
Grasshoppers.
yeah, grasshoppers, because they will destroy you. They show no mercy. Those boys do 2 hearts. They are
I'm sure they have like a
terrifying.
real name, but I don't know what it is.
A lot of enemies in this game have a real name and we don't use them. The only one who really uses mobile.
Maybe somebody in chat knows.
It's probably something ridiculous like greenies. Don't let the greenies get you.
Tiramisu. The Butter Sword was in Spectacle Rock Cave. I think everybody checked it, but Gem was the only one willing to go after it.
Correct, heading downstairs, not going to be able to get that big chest unless, you know, fate favors him and the hammer is right there in the center.
Well, he still hasn't found a small key, so as long as there's not a small key in this next chest, he can be assured that it's only in the big chest and he can skip it.
It's always fun to find items that are locked behind the item necessary for it. Then you're just like, oh, I don't need to worry about that. Gem's going for Skull Woods, and I imagine so is Ninban area.
Yeah, unfortunately he's doing the front first.
Oh, small key in that chest. He's going to be denied large chest.
I don't recall, did we find both the map and the compass?
No idea.
I definitely saw one, but I don't remember.
Oh, we won't find out before he leaves. But I imagine he'll swap off bomb. Alright, what was blind got to tell us? Very good.
Korek showing off the blind script.
Dancing around him.
He misses a slash there, but he gets the next one.
Ninban, I think, taking a death warp again.
Yeah, he was a little low on hearts.
I've just decided, nah, I'm not having this.
So Korek's foray into the back of Thieves Town definitely not paying off here. He gets a small key and a pendant for his trouble.
What was the boss item again? Was it just a small key again?
No, blind can't drop a small key. I have no idea what he dropped. 10 arrows. It was 10 arrows. That's right. Thanks, Sammy.
You the real MVP.
Yeah, Sammy, of course, is one of our trackers along with Sinak. So thanks so much, you guys, for doing what you do.
Correct, getting just a blue rupee from the digging game, and Gem heading into the back of Skull Woods.
Yeah, all three of our
actually.
pod dippers in Skullwoods, but Ninban gets to the boss first. Down to 3 hearts right away, though. Ooh, down to 1 heart. Oh,
he made kind of close, but he's living. He's getting ether.
Hey, that's a thing.
That could be important. It might not be, but he has it, and that's the important part.
Yeah, it's either really important or not at all important. Only time will tell.
Oh, Gem just not even using the fire rod, just slapping.
Yeah, Gem had a much easier fight there.
No nonsense. Then actually popping back into Skull Woods. Oh, we completely missed it. There was a glove in that lower bit of the last part of Skull Woods.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Totally missed that.
Yeah, I was just watching inbound. He got gloves like, hold up, that's important.
So that is definitely a glove locked behind going into Palace of Darkness.
That is a glove locked behind arrows, locked behind fire rod. Well, Karek's heading to Hype Cave. Will it live up to its name? Yeah, we got a B.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say
there's the second glove.
That's pretty hype.
That's decent. He got the B of Destiny. We're doing B% now, boys. Oh, Korak's not gonna worry too much about this one. That's got the glove.
Are you gonna check First Chest Swamp? No.
He has the mirror.
Oh, he's gonna do Desert. No, that doesn't make sense either, because he would just flip. Oh, the Bombo saves the book. That's right.
Correct. The only one right now who can check this one tablet. Will it pay off for him? Not sure what it could have other than like a cane.
Just a piece of heart. So our other three runners will be making their way into Thief's Town. Area are there already. I would imagine at least one of them is going to dip out after finding the mirror in the first four.
They're going to see that, and their mind is just going wild. I miss what color I got from Sick Kid.
Not much.
Pardon me, I'll be right back in a moment.
So, Korek's journey to West Darkwold, finding him the mirror, it looks like it's going to draw him away from Palace of Darkness just a little bit longer. He's headed up to Tower of Hera, which he can full clear. And then finds his mirror in this dungeon that's in that place. Thieves Town, right. Gem right behind. And it looks like he is going to dip out, menuing to the mirror there. Mirror was good enough, he says. I'm out of here. Meanwhile, Korek entering Tower of Hera. Small key in the basement cage. Will he have to do the tile room? Probably. Probably. Just a blue cane. Not super helpful right now. It looks like our other three runners all decided that the first four was good enough, and only Korek continued on to blind. But a little divergent here. Ninban and Gem both deciding to follow that mirror up back to King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge, while Arier went south. And Graveyard Ledge paying out 20 rupees today. So not the play they needed to make, but they do have those locations covered for later. They won't have to worry about it the whole seed like Korek will. And it looks like Arier will be our second player to make it to Hype Cave and our first player to get the Titan's Mitts. The entire world just opened up for Arier. Well, once he like opens the chest, but he's gonna. Like, what's the chance that he'll skip a chest here? Maybe 5%. There he goes. Okay, he got it. We're good. Looks like Ninbin's going up to check Lumberjack. I guess he didn't do this at the beginning of the game. I don't believe Korek's really found anything of note in Hera after that Cainaburna. The Cainaburna, of course, doesn't really do anything because he already had the cape. Everything that the Cainaburna unlocked, the cape is already unlocking. But it's still a crystal. Totally worth coming up here. Area are going to follow those mitts over to the Mire area. This is a very quick check of this place. And we see it is the Quake medallion to enter Mire, the one medallion that nobody has. Thanks, game. You're a treasure. I love you. And he finds two fetch quests in Mire Shed. Powder and a shovel. Could this get any better? I don't think so. Alright, Korek not finding what he needs over there in Tower of Hera. It looks like he is going to go over to Pod via the Aga portal. Definitely good news for him that he's doing this, but his routing will be a little less efficient than everybody else's. Meanwhile, Area are gonna do Desert Palace, a crystal dungeon. You can full clear it. Let's go. Oh, Korek's gonna do Catfish. I thought he would go into Pod. All right. Catfish is pretty effectively orphaned for everybody at this point. So if he does find progression here, this is pretty huge.
Alright, I'm back.
I thought we might see somebody check First Chest Swamp at some point, but nobody wanted to make that gamble.
Let's see what I've missed. Area got magic powder somewhere down the line.
Yeah, we had powder and the shovel in Mire's Shed. Meanwhile, Tower of Hera was empty for Korek, and he's doing Catfish to get a piece of heart. But he should go back to Pod now, right? Like, where else is he gonna go? But he switched to the hook shot, so I'm not sure what he's doing.
I just want to go fast.
Jim following Area over to the Mire area. He'll get his fetch quest and find out that Quake is the medallion for Mire.
Of course, the one medallion we haven't found.
Of course. So Korek was using that shot to go over to Graveyard Ledge.
Ninban going into Swamp Palace. Interesting move.
Oh, he is going to check for... Oh, somebody is checking First Chest Swamp. I thought we wouldn't see this.
Oh, and there is the one non-randomized chest in the entire game.
Two. The Skullwoods pinball room.
Alright.
It's the Quake medallion!
He is out! He is just out!
Wow! Okay, so Hammers and Mire, this is a required dip of the First Chest of Swamp.
That's rough.
That's incredible.
Well, we've got Korek going into the back of Escape.
What's even more incredible is that Nimvan checked the First Chest of Swamp before doing Hype Cave. Like, if the hammer was here, that was like a huge time loss.
Stop everything, boys. We've got a boomerang. Aquascape pretty barren. Boomerangs are always useful though. Those pesky switches.
All right, Korek. You're out of options. You gotta go to pod, right? You have to. Surely.
And there's the other boomerang in desert. The big chest. There's the red ring.
Alright, he's going to pod. Thank God. Okay, so Nimban's gonna go up to Dark Death Mountain along with Arier. A little surprised that they didn't go to Hera first. But I guess they can just mirror over to Hera, that's true.
So figuring, hey, if I find the hammer here, I can just go straight there. Jam about to start taking on, what is it, the Moldugas?
Playing Molus?
So that's it. What's Molduga?
I don't know.
I think it's from a different game.
It must be.
I'm playing the wrong Zelda.
I've only played one game before, and it's A Link to the Past.
Oh, that's a clean land wars.
Yeah, it turns out Lammo are also weak to silvers. Who knew?
I said it before, everything's... There's only 2 bosses in the game who don't get instant by silvers. And
More than that, right?
Nah, it's only 2.
No, Trinex,
Oh yeah, no, it's Trinex.
Holster, Mothula, Moldorm.
There's a few.
Okay. Most of them, though, do die to one
A
hit
lot
from
of them,
silvers.
yeah. The only one that you can use only 2 that you can use silvers on that don't die to silvers are Vitreous and your boy Crenando. That's a reference someone's gonna get.
Bombos Medallion to enter Turtle Rock.
Well,
Of course,
everyone's
nobody's
got that.
found the Canis Amari yet. So Myers looking pretty good for that hammer. There's still other places, though. I think we haven't seen the Smith sequence yet.
Everyone's gonna check the tablet. Has anyone else checked the tablet so far?
Correct.
Just a piece of heart. A lot
Yeah,
of hearts in this. Like
Corrick went up to,
everyone has like at least, what is that, a good 12 hearts? But
14 is
yeah,
the
14
lowest. Arier definitely has the heart lead at 16. Although honestly, like with runners of this caliber, right? Like anything more than like 6 is overkill.
Yeah. Especially when you start death warping. It's actually detrimental.
Right. It's pretty common to see players like just trying to avoid hearts at all points of the game.
And just using the fire rods for switches. The absolute madman.
Thoric making his way to the back of Palace of Darkness, where he will find his fire rod. And the boots, no less.
Still quite an even game. Jem and Korak both have... Actually, no. Jem's in the lead. Korak got a pendant.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate for Korak, because Korak was in the lead following the Light World, like getting to Dark World access.
Yeah.
But he's gonna lose it all right here, having to come into pod so late.
Questionable divergence.
Well, I mean, like
it out, but overall,
it was a gamble, right? Like it wasn't guaranteed there was something in pod, and Korak was hoping that it was nothing too vital. Unfortunately, it was locking his
It was
non-Aga
just
Dark World
the
access.
option. So. Once again, everyone but Korek's in the same dungeon. That seems to be a running theme.
Yeah, outside of Korek, the main divergence right here is that Quake medallion that Ninben got that everybody else passed on.
It's right at the start, he just scooped his hand in, grabbed it, and just left.
Yeah, it takes so long just to open Swamp Palace and walk inside
Oh.
that it's not surprising to see everybody skipping that chest.
Gem forgot the big key.
Oh no.
I think in his heart he was praying like, no, I don't have to go into cellars. Maybe he wasn't paying attention, thought the small key was the big key.
Korek having very limited options right now. He's going to head over to the Booch checks and then into Skull Woods, where he will find his mitts and open up the game for him. Meanwhile, Ninban headed over to the Mire area for his first time, and he will find out that Quake Medallion was required.
And he's just feeling like, oh yeah. He's probably feeling good. He probably doesn't imagine many of the others will do that swamp check for a long time. He's probably got like a considerable lead now.
Yeah, the problem is that he doesn't have the Canis Maria, so if he opts to go into Mire and there's nothing there, it's a pretty significant time loss. It's not the worst double dip of all the dungeons, but it's not a nice one either.
For we know, Kane could be in there. It could be vanilla.
Yeah, Vanilla Cane's one of the more trolly vanilla items to find. I think Arier is giving us our first look at the Smith sequence. This is like the main other option than Mire. And Ice Palace, I guess, is also available, as horrible as that is.
Pretty big divergence for 2 items, but if they're valuable items, this could pay off. Unfortunately, it's just 10 arrows. Now I guess the second half of the sequence, the chest. Gem's face is everyone's favourite hamburger.
The flute makes this a little better for Arier, because he won't have to re-enter the Dark World. He can just flute over to turn in the purple chest.
It's grabbing everyone's favourite demon. Did Gem grab this one? I guess we'll find out.
The single green rupee. One of 2 in the game.
Don't spend it
Add
all in
that
one
to your
plate.
collection. And our purple chest is the hammer!
The hammer! Oh, dearie.
That's so horrible.
That has boosted Ariel up on the list.
Yeah, so this is actually really bad news for Ninban, because he's going to be very tempted to go into Mire now, since he already has that Quake Medallion, where everybody else is going to be finding it on the way whenever they choose to go to Swamp.
That's a very rough location for the hammer. Just for any item, really.
Alright, so Arier, our first player with the hammer, what does he do with it? He says, Helmosaur
Straight to
King.
pods. It's like, I'm finishing this off. From there, he's probably gonna peruse the rest of Thieves Town. Probably won't fight lines.
Oh, he'll probably go... I don't think... Like, the hammer... Like, what the hammer unlocks for him right now is pendants, right?
Which Gem is also doing the sequence. So he's about to get his hammer.
Of the 3 pendants that he can follow that hammer into, Swamp is the most dense.
And plus, it has something that we know we need. We know they need it. but they don't.
Yeah, we know.
Do know. No, they do know they need it, but they don't know it's there. Talking in circles.
Yeah, the main concern here is that Swamp Palace is, to full clear it and do left side included, is such a large amount of time that you'll often see players try and put off Swamp for as long as they can.
And sometimes that just, it comes to bite them. But I don't think there's too much that could be there other than Kane. They've more or less got everything they need.
Yeah, we're in Kane Go mode right now.
Yeah.
Or Kane No mode.
As soon as someone finds the Kane, it gets going.
I'm not sure what he's going to do with this hammer. And Ninvan is going into Misery Mire. Very unfortunate.
Might get lucky.
Unless the Kane's in here. If the Kane's in here, then it's not really that bad at all.
No one knows what's happening. Just the magic of randomizers. This area is finishing off the Helmasaur King. Came into his house a while back, and he's here to finish the fight. And I swap to that bow and send him straight to the Shadow Realm.
It's like Gem and Area are on the same page. Gem also following the hammer immediately to Helmasaur King. This makes sense. Like, it's something you have to do.
Blue Mail and Helmasaur. Always something you get and just like, nice.
It's Godmire. Of course it's Godmire. We're not in Go mode, right?
So the fun begins. Now might be a good opportunity to mention to everyone watching. At 6 PM EDT, there will be a crowd control race. That'll be Adirian Dakrick versus JC87. That's at 6 PM EDT.
Yeah, crowd control's always a ton of fun to watch.
Basically, bully the runners the most.
Looks like Area is going to make the play into Swamp Palace. He does have to do this. The Quake Medallion is required.
The question is, will he take the Quake? Will he take the Quake and run like Ninban, or will he go? Will he explore deep? If he explores deeper, he might find Kane down there. He also might have a massive time loss. It's a big risk.
Yeah,
One way or the other.
I feel like leaving with just the Quake Medallion is way more risky than like continuing through the dungeon.
We'll see what he does. It looks like he's going. He's checking it out.
He'll probably skip left side.
Ninban's regressed from Maya. Looks like he didn't find what he was looking for.
Yeah, really unfortunate for him.
Looks like he's gonna explore Beamstown.
It's definitely not the worst double dip, though, to have to go back to Mire.
Yeah.
I think the main problem here is that now it's devaluing going back to Swamp for him. Like, he'll probably end up doing Ice Palace before Swamp just because he's already been in Swamp. But that may end up being good for him if the Kane's there instead.
Very clean Landmower from Korek. A pretty clean Helmasaur from Jim. Didn't even bother taking out the silvers. He has the butter. He's using it. That short expedition to get the butter sword is really paying off for him. Doesn't need any nonsense menuing for silver. It's like silver arrows? Need silver, gold's better. Ignoring the left side of the swamp. Going straight for...
Yeah, this is pretty standard fare. Korik's still looking for that hammer. But I think he's getting pretty bottlenecked. He'll have to go over to Smith Sequence soon. Nothing in the flooded room. Really rude big key in the waterfall room.
That was late, you can't get it. Is he even gonna go back for the big chest? Your strategy might be...
It's a tough call.
Strategy might be fight the boss. If he doesn't drop anything good, get back in. If he drops the cane, then he's just free to go.
The thing with going back in is if you go back in, you're definitely going to end up doing left side, right? So like if you're not willing to do left side, you leave behind the big chest with it.
That's a clean Argus kill area. Only getting the map though.
So that is 3 items left in the dungeon. I think he's definitely going to go back in.
Yeah. He's going to have to make that slog through the entire dungeon.
Ninban picking up his hammer. Korik starting the Smith sequence. He'll be headed towards that hammer soon.
Yeah, at this point everyone is on the same page. What we need is that cane. First person to get the cane gets the lead.
Yeah, everything's going to come down to that cane.
Could be right here. Swamp Palace.
Jim finds the Quake Medallion and, just like Arier, decides to stay.
Will he go straight for the boss, or will he try clearing left?
So outside of Swamp Palace, I think we still have Hammer Pegs, Thieves Town Big Chest, Spike Cave, and 4 items from Ice Palace. The 3 in the dungeon and the Green Pendant. Correct me if I'm missing anything, but I think
That
that's
sounds
it.
about right.
Arier making his way over to the left side swamp.
Correct. As usual, as soon as he gets the hammer, goes straight for the boss. Here to finish the fight.
Yeah, I think Helmasaur was like the only not terrible option once you did find the hammer.
Gem actually exploring. Looks like he's skipping left, but they went for the south here.
It's the heart container and oh god, no.
Bombs! That's it, he's got it, he's got the bomb.
Alright, with those bombs, Arier will be able to open bomb walls and stun hard hat beetles.
Leap across chasms, he otherwise will. Opens all of the options that were already open for him.
So this is generally very good news for Ninban, because like I was saying before, it's unlikely that he's going to go to Swamp Palace right away, having already been in there. So if he chooses not to go to Swamp Palace, he'll be saving all that time that everybody else spent there.
out for the tracker. I think Korak's missing his fire rod.
Alright, Nimbin takes down Helmosaur King. Where does he go, though?
I mean, frankly, this whole time, Ice Palace has been an option, just no one wants to go there.
Yeah, Ice Palace is quite terrible. from like a routing point of view, like Petted Ice Palace is pretty undesirable location.
But from the looks of it, it's might be.
It looks like he's gonna go Hammer Pegs. He might do the Thieves Town big or the back of Thieves Town. I don't think he did the rest of Thieves Town. Only Korek actually went back there.
Are you busting into Maya? He's gonna be disappointed.
Going Thieves Town first, even. I don't like that. I would have done Hammer Pegs first for sure.
Has anyone done check 45 yet? K45.
Oh, we've seen it.
Okay. That's a bit more nice.
Yeah, because everybody got their mirror out of Thieves Town on their way south and checked it on the way.
That's fair. Correct, finishing off his House of Darkness.
So Arier decided, after only finding the Quake Medallion in Swamp Palace, he's going straight to Meyer to look for the cane in its vanilla home. But we did already see this from Ninban.
That's correct.
Where is Korak going?
Does he think he has the cane already?
He might be like making his way to Spike Cave, and just checking the Turtle Rock Medallion on the way.
Maybe. That's a bit of a long walk for a check.
Yeah, especially when he knows that Quake is required anyway. But if he found the cane or something and he knew this was a medallion that he had, he'd be able to look for Quake Medallion here.
A bit trouble in those pegs with the speed. Now he's opening Turtle Rock. I don't know what he plans to do with it.
Alright, here comes the Thieves Town Big Chest for Ninban. Pay attention to the bottom right of the screen, guys.
This might make it or break it. 5 rupees. Not today. I'm feeling this Ice Palace. I might even be feeling all the way, like, it might even just be on Cold Stare.
Oh, this is Korak's first time on Dark Death Mountain.
Really?
Yeah, he hasn't done Super Bunny and Hookshot. Okay, this makes more sense then.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he can follow this up with Spike Cave, which is definitely a possible Canis and Mario location. Gem making the same play that Arier did, following that Quake Medallion into Caneless Mire. So this is great for Ninban, right? Because he already made these dips, so everybody else doing them is really good for him.
The only one who hasn't done it is Korak, I think. Mostly because he can't do it.
Yeah, and Korak had some other routing unfortunates that happened to him already.
But if he gets lucky and Kane is in Spike Cave, he's suddenly shot into the lead again. At that point, he is...
Well, I mean, if he gets the cane, though, he'll full clear Mire and Turtle Rock, looking for it. Quick Medallion.
Actually, he's in no mode.
Or he won't do Mire.
Because he needs to grab Quake to actually get into Mire in the first place.
Well, we'd be in no mode anyway.
Yeah, we're in no mode.
He'll be in, oh my god, I have to dip a pendant dungeon mode.
Alright, here comes the Spike Cave check.
Hammer Pegs as well. Hammer pegs. The
It's not even-
Cadus Memoria!
Here it is.
So you remember earlier when I said I'd do hammer pegs before going into Deep Sound?
Ninban is in go mode.
So yeah, that early dip into Swamp Palace paying off really huge for Ninban. Everybody else full clearing the dungeon where he only checked that first chest. Area going into Ice Palace. Oh no!
Oh no. Area, that's not where you want to be. For any situation, even if it was the right place to go. The only thing you can find in there is a mushroom.
Maybe he'll find red mail, right? And then Ninban is gonna die like 20 times to Ganon because he didn't have the red mail.
Nah, red mail's on the
Harrier catches up.
one like.
I was on Floating Island, right?
Death Mountain.
Darn
Yeah,
it!
it's on
Okay,
Floating
there
Island.
are no outs. It's over.
It's over. Unless someone makes amazing plays and Ninban beefs it over and over. It's just,
I mean, it's possible. Like,
pretty
execution
favorable
plays
for
a
him.
huge part, right? Like execution is so important.
Ah,
But for runners of this caliber, I like a mistake for one of these guys is like, oh no, I nudged a corner and lost a quarter of a second.
I was 2 pixels too far to the left.
Ninban gonna show us a spooky mire. This is a really fun glitch. He's going to manipulate the altitude value of his fire rod to hit these crystal switches when they are not visible. Never mind, he changed his mind. He set up the spooky. Now he's not doing it.
Keeping us in suspense is what he's doing.
Somebody else will do spooky for us, I'm sure.
He's probably feeling like he probably thinks he's in. Well, actually, he might think he's not in the lead right now. He might think, oh no, everyone else is done. They must have.
Yeah, the hammer on purple chest is like a really horrible place for the hammer. Like nearly everybody's gonna last location, something like that. But in the heat of the moment, it feels like you must have been the last person to find this. I'll never be able to win from here.
Was engaging Vitreous. Shouldn't have any problem. Also knows Korek has also gone to Ice Palace.
Yeah, I feel like from Korek's point of view, like Korek is of everybody feeling behind, I feel like Korek definitely feels behind more than anybody else because of how long it took him to go into pod. And he, being an accomplished runner, knows how common it is for players to go into pod with the items they had after Aga. So I think when he saw all his options after getting the hammer, Ice Palace looked like the worst. So he went there first, just in case.
So he's gonna be disappointed. Right now, Ninban's on his way to Turtle Rock. And he's got the convenience of just being able to finish that up nice and easy and head straight to Ganon's Tower. I don't know about you, but this is looking pretty cut and dry to me.
Yeah, no, he has a pretty severe advantage.
No one's even close to those pigs.
Gem going Ice Palace too.
Oh no.
This is really surprising to me. Like I understand that not going to Hammer Pegs and Thief Town first, but like that's gotta look better than Ice Palace, right?
Probably it's just slipped all their minds. It's just one of those, not even that obscure, but still kind of obscure overworld checks that in the heat of everything, you just forget it exists. And it's that crucial mistake that costs you the run.
I'm personally a huge fan of the of Hammer Pegs when you get late hammer. Like as soon as I get a late hammer, I just beeline it for Hammer Pegs.
And entering Turtle Rock.
It's just relatively hammer pegs is such a quick check compared to doing these dungeons, even if it's not more likely.
I've just realized how much health area has. God, look at that bar.
Yeah, 18 hearts.
Did he accidentally? Did he think we're playing the 100% seed?
Sometimes you just don't see any heart containers that you could skip.
Oh, he's about to engage Cold Stare. He's with the half magic and the magic he has. He should have no troubles.
Yeah, just don't get hit 12 times. There you go. See, damageless.
For what it's worth, very good execution. And he's gonna go straight to Sahasrara with that pendant.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you pretty much have to. Like, you need this gamble to mean something. See if Korik gets the quick kill. Oh, he doesn't even go for it.
Yeah, the only way I can think of someone catching up at this point is if right now, like, Korik immediately after this goes for those hammer pegs. And when he catches up to Ganon's tower, he takes a different route from Ninban, and that's the right route to take. Ninban goes to
I don't even think that would be enough. Like, I think Ninban also needs to have a bout of narcolepsy or something for anyone to catch up at this point.
Might be going to pegs. Yeah, he is.
Alright, and he's doing pegs before Thief Sound, so good play here.
Wise choice. He doesn't know it yet. But this is the right choice to make.
Oh, Ninban! Ninban was trying to go mode the dungeon and skip the Vanilla Big Key chest, but unfortunately, it's Vanilla Big Key in the Vanilla Big Key chest.
Yikes.
Arier picks up his Key to Samaria. That is our second runner to be in go mode.
And he is going straight for Death Mountain. Or...
No, he'll do Meyer first.
He has got so much ground to cover though.
I'm not sure how much time is possible to be saved on Ganon Tower Big Key routing. I want to say it's like 7 minutes. Like if I find it in the tower room first and you check tower room last, that would be the biggest difference maker.
Correct. Hopefully getting his cane, yep. He's going to be making his way over to Maya. And
yeah, unfortunately for Korek, doesn't have that Quake medallion.
Hell. Oh, he doesn't. Oh,
so
no.
he's going to full clear Turtle Rock first, which will mean an extra climb up the mountain for him.
Oh, getting cabbaged. That's the worst thing, you get that speed boost and then immediately Death Mountain cabbages slap you in the face. Not having none of them.
At least the difference between go mode and full clear Turtle Rock won't be that huge with that Vanilla Big Key.
You can full clear it.
Yeah.
And if
I just mean like Ninban's not going to save a lot of time from getting to go mode it. He'll still have to do Laser Bridge to get his last small key.
Everyone's favorite place to not be.
Very clean fight from Gem. The Butter Sword coming in handy. Once again.
These bridges always terrify me. Once you learn that only the very front of that laser is the hurt box, it's not so bad.
And of course, the small keys in the last chest.
Gem about to be disappointed by his green pendant, same as everyone else.
And here's Trinex. Getting some backdoor strats here with the Tempered Sword. Oh, I think he missed the slash. No, he got it. Trinex
He's getting a bit.
He's hungry.
Getting a bit beat. I could see something insane happen here. Nimban gets bodied by Trinex.
No.
Game might still be afoot.
No. He's not
Surely.
He'd have to get hit twice. Alright, he's fine.
That's it. Like that, Nimban has everything he needs to finish this off.
Yeah, that's it, you guys. Our 7th crystal in Nimban's Dragonite hands right now. So he's going to head straight over to Ganon's Tower. In Ganon's Tower. All right, you listening? In Ganon's Tower, there are 22 locations for the big key that Nimban needs to complete this game. If you would like to guess which chest or item location will contain that big key, do so now.
Just notice he got the dash off of those tiny stairs out of Turtle Rock. I've never seen anyone do that before.
Super speed?
Yeah.
Well, you just do the hook speed.
Oh yeah, but like off the Turtle Rock stairs.
Yeah, that's right. You don't do that?
I'm not good at this game.
Oh, I mean, like, you know, everybody's a different point in learning.
Oh, anyway, let's mark 1:28:17. Nimban enters Ganon's Tower.
Typically, you switch to the hook shot on your for like entering GT, right? So like it just makes sense to switch right after Trinex and hook speed over.
Yeah, GT, what number are you banking on?
All right, so Nimban's opting to go over to Stalfos Room first. A likely Dark Magician strats or Peak Magician strats, but a Random Room Rush also a possibility.
2, 3 has the mushroom. There it was the whole time.
Oh
and
my
it's
god,
number 4.
that's pretty quick big key.
Test number 4. Yikes. I think that sells it. Unless Nimban has some serious trouble with Ganon. No one's even close.
And I believe we did have one person guess 4. Daffles, congratulations. You were right.
The prize is the knowledge of being correct. What more could you ask for?
No one can take that away from you. I mean, it's pretty clear cut from here. Like, something quite extraordinary would have to happen for Nimban not to take the win here on the restream.
You did win it yesterday as well, you said, didn't you?
Yeah, he got first place by quite a bit yesterday. I think like the average of the top 3 was quicker than the second place time, right? Because his first place time was so much better.
Wow.
So Nimban's going to be sitting pretty for the seeding so far.
Clearly, he might be a very strong contender for this.
There's a lot of races to go, though.
Yeah. You could just be having a very extraordinary start. No, I've got hope. I've got hope in you, Ninban. You can go all the way. He's the outlier here. He's the only non-link. Or might say
Right.
he is, in fact, the missing link.
Pokemon.
Oh yeah, that's bad. I apologise. I apologise to everyone.
And just in case anybody's not aware, this is a qualifier race for the SpeedGaming Live tournament that will be happening in October, a live event. This is the second of, I think, 20 qualifier races to determine seeding for the event. But being in the qualifiers is not necessary to take part in the tournament. The places in the tournament will be first come, first serve for those who bought a ticket. But the top 3 seeds from the qualifiers will have subsidized expenses for traveling to the event. So there's still something really important kind of writing on this.
Some savings, baby. Travel's expensive.
Yeah. Oh, and a guaranteed bracket spot. Oh, I missed that part.
Alright, Ninban. Hamburger 2. Give it the time of day.
And I don't believe you have to commit to going to the event to take part in the qualifiers. So, like, if you wanted to try your hand at the qualifiers and maybe finish top 3 to get those subsidized expenses, you can do so. And, if you don't make the top 3, just opt to not go to the event afterwards. It's anyone's game, though. Rando gonna rando, right?
Alright, here we go with Aga 2. Again, a double hit.
Oh, just barely missing that triple.
Getting some pretty favourable position setups here. Ooh,
Yeah,
that
it's
was
nice.
excellent
2-2-2.
There's the blue boy himself. This is the only game where Ganon is a bat at any point in time.
Spicy barbacoa. That's right, Ganon. So Ninban opting to try the 1-in-1 strat here. This is where he's going to one cycle phase 1 and 2 with the Tempered Sword. I think he's going to miss it, though. Get another cycle here.
One of those fire bats.
Oh, he takes a death.
Takes
No! Well, he gets to
Still
try
has-
again
Yeah.
for the 1-in-1.
Still has a considerable lead. Area only just entering Ganon's tower. Unless Ninban has immense trouble with Ganon. And he might have a little bit of trouble with that lower health now.
All right, he misses the 1 cycle in the first phase. It's a pretty terrifying place to try and get a 1 cycle here. I'm
Playing it
surprised he
safe.
didn't just switch to the cape or the cane.
Yeah, he is 2 shots from death right now. He's playing it dangerous. He doesn't have to. Maybe he thinks, what if someone else is fighting Ganon? There's phase 3.
Stop teleporting! Oh my god!
Slipping and sliding his way around the arena.
Get it, please. There he goes. Alright, we're in phase 4. 4 silver arrows. There's 1.
Don't have any double arrows.
There's 2.
I think he got an extra one in. I think that's his third.
Oop.
Oh.
No!
Oh!
Ninban! What?
Oh, he slipped the last leg. Oh, that's got to be rough. He's just ending it.
Oh no. And Arrear's in the gauntlet. Like,
Oh,
if this happens like 1 or 2 more times, we might see an upset.
It could still be anyone's game.
Alright, he's gonna grab the ferry.
Oh, takes a bump from Haynock, so. Oh, Ninban, don't do it. Don't let this happen to you. Don't beef it at this vital stage.
Alright, he gets the 1 cycle phase 1. I don't think he meant to hook to that. He'll get another cycle here. Ow!
Ninban, stop worrying me like this, boy.
Should have got that red veil.
Should have got the red mail. It's the most stressful Ganon fight I've ever watched.
No, I imagine Ninban's feeling pretty tense right now.
Oh, these Ganons being pretty nice about those warps.
Alright, back to phase 4.
Ninban?
Oh, he was trying for the quadruple.
Ninban, you can't be doing stuff like that right now.
It is possible to get 4
double.
silvers in from that position.
And it's
there
done.
we go. We did it.
Nice. Oh, Ninban. You're worrying me there for a moment.
And that's it. Ninban taking first place on the restream, first place in our hearts, and 4th place overall in the whole race, with a time of 1:38.40. GG to Ninban.
Congratulations, Ninban. Oh, that Ganon fight at the end had me worried, but you pulled through. Did good.
Unfortunately, Ninban forgot to pay his microphone bill and will not be able to give us an interview today.
Yikes.
But we wish him well and give him all the GGs, you guys.
Congratulations and well played to all the other runners as well.
Yeah, I think without the Ganon errors, definitely would have been at least 2nd place instead of 4th. Meanwhile, Arrear about to start his own Ganon fight. And Arrear looks like he does get the 1-in-1 here. Butter sword, what sword?
Who likes cash?
Oh, you guys probably want to know who beat Ninban. I'm focused here. Okay, so first overall was The Lane at 1:31:52, and then SAGT taking second place about 4 minutes later, and then Lunchtime finishing about 1:40 before Ninban.
Still fourth best so far. It's still very good. Area finishing off his gunfight clean. Again, a much faster gunfight than Ninban.
Yes, GG's to Arier, taking second place on the restream, and fifth place overall, finishing behind Ninban there with a time of 1:41:31.
I feel like had he not visited Ice Palace, Area probably could have taken it.
Yeah, there's definitely things that could have happened differently here. And we welcome Arier to the voice chat. Welcome, GG.
Yo, thanks.
So fun seed. Like it. It's good.
It's alright, I didn't feel too bad.
It wasn't the best situation, you know. Oh, medallion go mode, and I have like all the pendants to choose from.
Oh, it was actually game go mode.
Oh yeah,
we
had
everything to
King Go mode,
choose
that's
from.
right. You went to Swamp Palace first.
Yeah, it wasn't a great situation. Like, these are kind of the seats that I dislike, because it's just kind of a crapshoot where you end up.
Yeah, just guess. Whoever guesses the best.
Yeah, but I didn't feel too bad. I was really surprised when Flame finished with 141. Yeah.
Not even 3 minutes behind as well. It's very close.
So Thalane unfortunately wasn't on the restream, so we didn't get to see what he did. But Ninban, he did the first chest swamp dip and got that Quake medallion like real early, and managed to avoid going into Ice Palace and found the canes before making that dive. So that was like the big time difference there.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured people would be able to avoid either ice or swamp, but I was executing out of my mind overall. So I felt like I made up a lot of time, and I thought that people wouldn't go back to Hammerpack so soon. I was thinking of doing that before ice, and then decided not to, and of course regretted that after I went back at some point. But I don't know, like routing-wise, I don't feel like I would do much different. Like I maybe had some sloppiness. It's been a while since my last random season, I think, to be honest.
Well,
But
between
overall, I was really happy.
between the three of you, Gem, Arier, and Ninban, like you guys all had like pretty much identical routing throughout most of the seed. Just like sometimes one player would go one place and the other go somewhere else. But then you turn around and do each other's routes the opposite direction anyway. The only real difference maker was that Quake medallion for Ninban.
He just saw it and he just figured, I'm getting right out of here.
Well, he didn't have a choice. He didn't have the hammer at the time. I am curious though about the butter sword. Gem was the only person to pick that up.
It would only save me, let's see, 5 seconds tops if I pick it up. As in, over getting tempered. So it would take me like 20 seconds to get gold sword, so I would lose 15 seconds if I picked it up. So it definitely wasn't worth it for me.
Yeah, but
You
it's the
get
merit of
used.
having the swords. Don't you feel powerful when you have that mighty yellow buttery blade?
I think I would actually lose more time because it causes more lag too, so no. No, it definitely doesn't make me feel powerful, it just makes me feel slow.
Yeah, I guess it's just the difference in like our execution, right? Like you're just that much better than me. Like I see the butter sword, I'm like, ooh, I don't have to try on Ganon. Ooh, I don't have to try on Cold Stare. The quick kills are so much easier now. if you're
guess.
if you're confident enough with your 1-1, like it doesn't do anything having the butter sword.
There's Jem finishing up his Ganon fight.
GG's to Jem. Jem finishes 9th overall with a time of 1:45.53. In between him and the area, we had Plasma Kappa, D Demolisher 1, and U Demonistic. Welcome, Jem, to the voice chat. GG.
Yo, GG, Ari.
Yo, GG Jam, I'm sorry for making fun of you picking up gold sword.
That is the real
I mean, I
question.
might deserve it.
What prompted the butter sword pick?
Well, I don't know. I figured it's early enough, and well, I don't really have the numbers, so I thought it might save enough time to pick it up this early. But it probably really didn't.
Save 3 slashes on gold there, and like you can get a 0 cycle on triangles, which saves 2 or 3 seconds. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. It saves a bit in Agatower, I guess, because you can one-shot the guards.
Yeah, but you also have silvers, so it was.
Yeah, but you saved the menu, dude.
Correct, there's a very good Agatu there.
Well, you also didn't have silvers like at the time too.
Yeah, that too. No,
Yeah,
silvers were on East of Mountain. Well, you did maybe.
Okay. Fair enough. Fine, you got me there.
I don't know, it was a really bottlenecky seed for the most part, right up until the very end when everybody had to like pick which of the 5 horrible locations to go to. And nobody went to the right one first.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, I think. I don't know. I kept telling myself to just go to Hammerplex, but because I didn't finish Thieves Town, I would have felt obligated to finish that, so that's the reason I kept delaying it.
Yeah, that was kind of the same thing for me too. Then again, if it was just a singular location, it would have just been like Spike Cave or Braidwood Ledge for me too, so I think I would have still gone for the more dense spots like Swamp and Ice, but I don't know. It's such a rough seed in that case.
Well, it's like what you said, it's a crapshoot, you know? Like, it could have just been an Ice Palace, and then, oh look, Area finished 2nd overall.
Yeah, it is random, but it is interesting to think of whether your decisions were actually correct or not. I guess as far as decisions can be correct. It's easy to say, oh, I would do the same thing every time, but maybe I should be.
Right. I'm sure very often your routing is affected by how you happen to be feeling at that particular moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Correct, ran out of silver arrows. Gonna get a silverless fight after all.
I only need 3 hits, I think. Or
Man
maybe
mode.
6.
Playing Ganon the old-fashioned way. Having a bit of a hard time.
Yeah, his torches are really desynced.
Link to the Past in its purest form.
That's how we did it back in '89. It didn't come out in '89.
At 91? 2?
Yeah, 91. 2 in the US.
I think Korik's just really determined to get that cape spin.
There he goes.
Oh, that was a nice hit.
GG's to Korek. He takes 13th overall with a time of 1:50.23. Following Gem was Hughtech, SSBM Oro, and Fear Agent. Looks like we're gonna get Korek in for an interview. Here he is. Welcome, Korek, to the voice chat. GG.
I tried to click on him, but then he moved out.
Hey, GG.
Yo, GG, correct.
As well,
GG.
like the traditional Ganon fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you're supposed to do it, I think. I
Did you
mean,
run
if
through
you ask me,
Randomizer
that's how
on
you
purpose?
Yeah, that's the fair Ganon fight. Why, like, Silver's like against the rules.
Silver's are a crutch.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing. I don't know. Eventually, I'm like, well, if it's in Swamp, and particularly that first Justice Swamp that I could have gotten an hour ago, like, I'm already dropping this race from the 5, so I really need to go back to that Thieves Down Big Chest first, even though it's probably not there. And, well, this is just a disaster. I don't know.
But don't worry, if you finished faster than I ever would have.
Yeah, you definitely had the least successful routing in the mid game, like getting to those myths. Like everybody else did moderately. Yeah, you were the first to get to Dark World. Even though everybody did everything, you had the best route through that and the best execution. But
Did you hear that, Gem and Eric?
I'll do a VOD review of this
that
one.
basically means he wins, right?
I mean, I'll
No.
definitely buy that you had the best routing though. That's like, I'm not super happy about my light world, but I
the luckiest routing.
like every single tournament race I do, I always seem to get into the Dark World last if it's an Aga seed. But like, I don't know, I basically lost occasion to Lamb, so there was not much I could do.
Yes.
Same.
Anyway,
That's
I think Ninban was actually the last one to get to the Dark World, because he did the front of escape and got the lamp really early, so he had like the least fortunate routing through the early game.
Speaking of which, I was considering so hard to steal the key from the front of escape to get to the back once I found the lamp. But then, so I was worried about there being a glove or the hammer in the back of escape for like the longest time until I found my first glove.
Oh, that would be
I just
gross.
like seeing that completion screen and on Gem, all the boss kills with the gold sword, all 12
That's
out.
disgusting. Yeah, disgusting.
I definitely thought the
Yeah, how do you
same
feel
thing,
about
Eric.
it?
Yeah.
Don't rub it in.
Alright, I respect the buzzer.
Yeah, I think like the biggest time loss for Korek was just not doing the early pod, and I understand why you didn't. It just didn't work
I'm
out.
surprised
Way
that
that
Gem
would
did,
really help
because
me.
Gem never does pod after Aga without hammer, but apparently he just wanted to make sure he didn't get behind Ares. So
Yeah, that's literally what I thought. I was like, oh, Aries in this race, I know he always does pot, so I went to pot.
It's always worth it.
nah,
I mean,
it's
the only
fine.
way. My reasoning is like, especially if you have both, the only time you go back to pod is once you get the hammer. And if you already have the flute or already did Aga, it's so easy to get back to pod, and it's not that long to get back to the entrance. So I don't think a double dip is bad.
Yeah, I think I'd definitely be in the early pod camp with the items you guys had entering the Dark World.
But I can see it either way, but it's just the reasoning I have. Post Aga, that is.
Yeah, for this seed in particular though, it did definitely pay off. Pod having the only way to get to the Dark World outside of that Aga portal, locked behind that fire rod. But once everybody had like the mitts, you all pretty much did the same things except for Ninban. Like everybody went straight to Homosaur after getting the hammer, and all three of you dipped Ice Palace.
It was a little soul-crushing seeing each and every one of you go in there one after the other. It's like, no, that's not the right way.
Hammer pegs will get you every time.
Yeah, it's only because the hammer
Actually,
was in
I'm
that area,
wondering,
right?
what did prompt all three of you to go to Ice Palace before the hammer pegs?
Density.
Yeah, density, and I didn't want to finish TT.
Yeah, and the green pendant for me. That probably swayed me versus Swamp. But then I realized at the end, when Swamp was my last location, that I don't think anything was actually behind Mirror, so I was feeling really bad. That I probably would have routed it differently if I had remembered that.
Right. I have a question, by the way, about who. Jem, did you do Meyer without the cane?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So at some point, I only had cutscene chests left, and I knew that there was only a small key and an item left. Or
It had to be the other item, which is why I went back there. I did the same thing.
But it couldn't be, or it could be. Could it be cane? There? No, because you can lock yourself out, right? If
What?
the cane is there, it has to be. Like
Why?
the cane can't be there. Because
The key door isn't cane locked.
Oh. Oh yeah, you're probably right, huh?
Because all three keys have to be available in order to open that key door.
Oh
Logically.
man. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I never thought about that.
I only realized it once I was lighting the torches. So, yeah.
Yeah, Meyer key logic is really awkward because like you have to take into consideration these key doors that most players don't even know exist. Like you take a random sampling of rando players, they probably wouldn't even be able to tell you where that key door is that makes you need all those keys.
Yeah, I was just pondering it. I'm not sure if it's actually correct, but
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, you
it's,
should be
it's
right.
just- it's the same thing as when the small key is on cold stir. Like, if that was the case in this seed, I knew that Sahasrara couldn't have the cane either.
Right.
No, could have saved me a minute or something. It's such a long cutscene.
Yeah, and then walking back there as well.
I think the key could have been in that chest though, I guess. So like that chest wasn't necessarily not a key, but it was necessarily not the cane.
No, with our knowledge, it had to be an item, because the small key can only be there if the big key is on the left side.
Oh right, yeah, that's true. You're right. A little bit of time that could be saved, I guess. Not as much as not going into Meyer, I suppose.
Yeah, it felt really bad finding the big key in the first chest.
Yeah!
It's always go mode. It's always God mode Meyer when you don't have the cane, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, guys, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. Do you guys have any other thoughts to add for this race today? Do you feel good about your chances in the qualifiers moving forward?
I really hope this is the one I'm going to drop, as in this is going to be my
same.
worst one. I guess
Hope
it's
hard
probably
job.
more middle of the pack, but I really need to get top 3 in order to actually go to SG Live, so I'll have to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to SG Live no matter what, and I don't really mind being in the lower seeding group. If you look at the cross keys tourney, that is very true. But you know, obviously, it feels good to have successful races. So I feel really bad right now because this was a pretty bad race for me by my standards. But you know, looking forward, I'll probably drop this one and still have a good finish.
And of course, thanks for the commentary and the overall restream. And hope to see you guys again next race.
Absolutely.
Very well done, all of you.
Yes, guys, make sure you give these runners a follow. Jem, Arier, Korek, and Ninbon did such a fantastic job for us today, entertaining us this afternoon. Well, afternoon for me, maybe not for everybody else. Definitely not for my co-commentator, Frunkin. I'm Koi on comms. With me is Frunkin. Say hi, Frunkin.
Hi, Franken.
And our trackers, Sammy and Sinak, thank you guys so much for helping us out. With that, as trackers, of course, are the unsung heroes of restreaming on SpeedGaming. But I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.
Before we finish off, do remember there's that crowd control race, 6 p.m.
All right.
Adrian, what was that? Adrian Dak Rick?
Yeah, it's right.
That's a mouthful of a name. Versus JC87, 6 p.m. EDT. Go watch that. It's going to be go ruin their fun.
Alrighty, we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.